Outside the city, beyond the last streetlight that still works, there stands a house everyone avoids. It doesn't look destroyed or burned, yet something about it feels wrong. The windows are dark, but never empty. Even in silence, the house feels awake, as if it is breathing slowly, patiently, waiting for night to fully fall before revealing its true nature. People who live nearby say the house behaves differently after sunset. The air around it becomes heavier, colder, and strangely quiet. Dogs refuse to bark, insects disappear, and even the wind seems to avoid touching it. Some nights, faint lights glow behind the windows, moving from room to room, even though the house has no electricity and no one has lived there for decades. At exactly midnight, the front door opens on its own. There's no sound of wind, no footsteps approaching, yet the door creaks wide open as if welcoming an unseen guest. Those who have witnessed it say the darkness inside looks deeper than normal darkness, like a hole that swallows light instead of reflecting it. Inside the house, a long hallway stretches farther than it should. The walls are cracked, the paint peeling like old skin, and the lights flicker weakly as if struggling to stay alive. Every step echoes unnaturally loud, and sometimes an extra footstep can be heard, slightly out of sync, as though someone is walking just behind you. The shadows inside the house do not behave like normal shadows. They bend, stretch, and crawl across the walls, slowly forming shapes that resemble human figures. The most terrifying part is that these shadows react to movement. When you stop, they stop. When you turn your head, they shift closer, silently observing. One room still looks like it once belonged to a child. Broken toys lie scattered across the floor, untouched by time. A dusty teddy bear sits against the wall, its stitched smile frozen. Late at night, its glassy eyes begin to glow faintly, and a soft whisper fills the room, asking a simple question in a childlike voice. "Will you play with me?" Deeper inside the house hangs an old mirror, cracked from top to bottom. Anyone who looks into it sees something unsettling. The reflection moves slightly slower, blinking at the wrong time, smiling when the person is not. And when you step away, the reflection does not always follow. Sometimes it stays behind, watching. The staircase leading upstairs is stained with dark, dried handprints. Each mark looks like someone tried desperately to climb away from something chasing them. Locals believe these stains belong to those who entered the house hoping to explore, only to realize too late that the house never planned to let them leave. Upstairs, a pale figure often appears at the window, staring out into the darkness. Its face is empty, emotionless, yet its eyes are wide open, fixed on anyone who looks back. People say that once the figure notices you, the house remembers your face forever. The basement is the worst place of all. The air smells of rust and decay, and the sound of dripping water echoes endlessly. Old chains hang from the ceiling, swaying even when nothing touches them. From the darkest corner comes a slow, steady sound of breathing, deep, patient, and very close. As the night reaches its end, the house begins to change. The walls crack like breaking bones, the floors tremble like a beating heart, and a low scream echoes through every room at once. That is when the truth becomes clear. This house is not haunted by ghosts. The house itself is the monster. Every soul that ever entered became part of it, part of its walls, its shadows, its whispers. And by morning, the house returns to silence, looking abandoned once again. But if you listen carefully, you might hear one extra heartbeat inside, because the house is still alive, still hungry, and now it knows you exist. The house does not sleep when the sun rises. It only pretends to. During the day, it stands still, quiet, almost harmless, as if nothing ever happened inside its walls. But beneath the silence, something shifts slowly, rearranging rooms, sealing memories, erasing signs of struggle. By evening, the house is ready again. Those who once escaped speak of strange aftereffects. They dream of the same hallway every night, the same flickering lights, the same whisper calling their name. Some wake up with scratches on their arms, others with dirt under their nails, as if they had been digging in their sleep. Doctors find nothing wrong, but the survivors know the truth. A part of them never left the house. Old photographs sometimes surface, showing the house years ago. In the windows, Faint faces can be seen, pressed against the glass. If you look closely, the faces change depending on who is holding the photo, as if the house is reminding them of what it took, or what it still wants back. On certain nights, the front door opens earlier than usual. Not at midnight, but just after sunset. That is when the house is most dangerous. It calls softly, not with fear, but with comfort. It promises warmth, shelter, understanding. And for those who feel lost, tired, or broken, the call is almost impossible to resist. Once inside, the house grows familiar. The rooms begin to resemble places from your past. A bedroom that looks like your childhood room. A hallway that smells like home. The house learns quickly, reshaping itself to make you feel safe, until you realize safety was the trap. By the time fear returns, the exits are gone. Doors lead to walls. Windows show only darkness. The whispers stop guiding and start laughing. The house no longer needs to chase. It has already won. And somewhere deep inside, a new room appears. A room shaped perfectly for one more soul. So if you ever find an old house standing too quietly, watching too closely, remember this. Some places are not meant to be explored. Some places are meant to be avoided, because the house is patient, and it is always waiting. Long after the last light in the neighborhood turns off, the house begins its quiet work. It listens. It memorizes footsteps from passing strangers, the tone of their voices, the weight of their fears. Every sound becomes a lesson. Every glance becomes an invitation waiting to happen. Sometimes, people swear they see someone standing on the porch in the early hours of the morning. A figure that looks confused, pale, almost human. They try to speak, but no sound comes out. By the time anyone looks again, the porch is empty, and the house looks a little fuller than before. The ground around the house has started to change as well. Grass refuses to grow properly. Soil sinks in strange patterns, and the earth feels soft, as if it has been disturbed many times. Some believe the house is slowly sinking into the land. Others believe the land itself is being pulled upward, feeding the thing above it. Every few years, someone tries to destroy the house. Fire never spreads the way it should. Walls refuse to collapse. Tools break. Machines fail. It is as if the house understands danger and protects itself, tightening its grip on whatever keeps it standing. Late at night, if you are unlucky enough to hear it calling, the voice sounds gentle. It does not threaten. It does not scream. It simply asks questions only you would recognize. Regrets, memories, unfinished thoughts. The house does not force entry. It convinces you. And once you answer, even silently, the house knows you are ready. From that moment on, it appears in your dreams. At first, just a shadow. Then a doorway. Then a room you almost remember.